Hi Mia, I hope you're having a good week so far. So today's lesson, I want to continue to work on the fruit song we did last week. But first, before we do the violin, let's just recap on the bow. So if you hold the bow up, let me just see that I'm in the video like this. If you hold the bow up on the wooden part with your left hand and you shake out your bow hand, well, yeah, let's put the bow down and let's shake, like we shook last week, to get all your muscles to relax, because we need to be very relaxed when we play the violin. It's actually a very natural instrument to play, so it's really important that we relax as well. Let's shake our fingers, make little stars, shooting stars. That's really good exercise. That's good. And then the spider crawl, which is something you do with your bow. Take your bow in your right hand. Even though you're left-handed, that's fine. We're going to still do it like that. And then try and climb up on the wooden part of the bow like a little spider. Climbing up, 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 up the bow to the tip. And then climbing down, which is a little bit more tricky, but it's so good to exercise those muscles. So we're climbing all the way down without helping. Your left hand is not allowed to help. This is a mission for the right hand only. So you climb down. There we go. All the way down. Okay, whew. And then shaking it out once more. Righto. Now, hold the bow up here with your left hand. And then remember that what we did with a pencil, it sort of just falls. If you're relaxed and your wrist is relaxed, it just like falls onto it. So do that, and then let's see that your, well, what we call in the violin, your second finger is the middle finger. That it's almost resting a little bit on the metal part there of the frog. And then you can put this finger, which is your third finger in violin terms, that could be on the dot there, which is a good indication, sort of just generally where you want it to lie. So it's all very relaxed. And then your pinky, nice on top there. This is something that's very important. We always want our pinky to be on top there, like a little crooked. We don't want it to lie down or on this side or be too stiff like this. We want it to be a little crooked like this. And then our thumb, we're going to put here on the frog of the bow. I don't know if you can see. And we also don't want a completely stiff thumb. We want almost like a little smiley face. I mean, if you really look nice, or if you look closely, then you'll see it makes a little smiley face on this side. Right, there you go. So on the frog, the metal part, and it's all with a little angle, your second finger and your third finger on the dot with your pinky, and then you just, with a little angle, let go of your index finger, your first finger, and there you have it. Your little bow hold for now. It actually comes natural. So just, if this is sort of in this area, then find the sweet spot for you that it's comfortable. Okay, now you have the bow. Grab your violin, and you had a beautiful violin hole last week. Now we are continuing on the fruit song, which goes like this. I don't want you to worry too much about the actual rhythm of it, of quarter notes and eighth notes, quite yet. I want you just to focus on the rhythm by the names, by the fruit itself, like apple, cherry, apricot, pear, kiwi fruit, orange. They are not rare. That's the rhythm I want us to play on our open strings. And last week you did it on the E string, which was great. You start at the almost at the frog of the bow with a down bow towards the ground, right? Apple, cherry, apricot, pear, kiwi fruit, orange. They are not rare. Okay, so that was the mission for last week. And also your elbow, your bow elbow, is sort of here when you play on the E string, which is the highest string. Today, I want us to play the fruit song on the lowest string we have, which is called the G string. So there's a change in your bow elbow because you have to lift it very high so that it doesn't touch the other strings. Apple, if you hear something doesn't sound right, it's like the strings are touching, you know it's this elbow that's not high enough. So that's a very, it's like that elbow is, if it's a ship and he's the captain, he needs to steer the boat. Okay, so yeah. And also, we don't want to bow too close to this black area, which is called the fingerboard, because that's reserved for the fingers to play at. And we don't want to play too close to the bridge here, because that sounds icky like this. Ooh, that's no good. So there's this sweet spot in the middle between the fingerboard and the bridge. That would be just perfect. You hear? And try to, you can hold your violin like this, like you did last week, without touching the strings, just in a relaxed position. Or you can hold it here for now, because we're only playing open strings. But I think last week you were very comfortable by holding it like this, which is totally fine. So what I also want to remind you is to try and use a lot of the bow. You don't have to play only, you know. Nice full bows. And please try and keep your bows straight. And what I mean by that, it's not really straight, it just means parallel to the bridge. So as I showed you last week, remember when I put my finger onto your elbow and I said, make it a long straight bow? Then it was a lot different, right? Instead of you using your upper arm as well. So the upper arm, if you're going to do nice and long straight bows, the upper arm doesn't really move. It's the elbow and the lower arm and the wrist. so many things in the wrists. So that's what I want you to focus on for this week is the fruit song again on the E string, which is the highest string we have on the violin, plus the G string, which is the very lowest. And the biggest difference in your posture or whatever will be your elbow. Because with the E string, your bow elbow won't have to lift that high, but with your G string, you will have to. Okay, so we're going to take this nice and slow so that you get comfortable with the violin, comfortable with your bow hold, comfortable with holding your violin, and then we will start with the String Builder, Book 1. Okay, but for now it's the fruit song, and for next week on E string and G string, and then we will go further. And as I say, don't worry too much about reading the notes of the fruit song, but more memorizing the rhythm in the apple, cherry, apricot, pear, kiwi fruit, orange. They are not rare. Memorizing that rhythm, because it's not about the notes so much now as I want you to get comfortable with your bowing and using nice full bows so that the violin can make a nice sound for you. Okay, Mia, I will see you next week and I hope you have a great week. Bye.